Today we're gonna do a this or that style video. All right, we all know what these are. Birkenstocks, classic Birkenstocks, and then we've got the Melissa Jelly flip-flops, okay? We all know Melissa Jelly shoes. They've been around forever too, just probably long enough, maybe not as long as Birkenstock, but anyway, we've got two waterproof shoes on the market, and you want to know which one to go with this summer. Well, let's break it down. PVC material, EVA material, all right? If you're gonna be going to the beach a lot this summer, you're gonna want a PVC sandal, and I'll explain why here in a second. Because the EVA, while it's a nice solid waterproof sandal, it's not gonna hold up in sandy conditions. So if you live in a dry desert-like climate, your EVA is gonna be eaten alive by that sandy material, okay? It's just a well-known fact that EVA does not hold up in sandy conditions. On the other hand, PVC does, all right? So the PVC is gonna be able to tolerate those sandy conditions and not break down. So, two waterproof sandals, which one do you go with, all right? I'm a land girl, all right? So, I usually would typically go with this one here, okay? One, it's lightweight. Two, I need a supported footbed, all right? Look at that footbed in there. You can see the contoured footbed, and not only that, but there's even some additional gripping and toe support in there. The Melissa sandal doesn't really have a contoured footbed. Great coloring, love the colorway, all right? However, this one does mold to your foot in the heat. So does the EVA, all right? Non-slip materials, lightweight, PVC is heavier, okay? So consider that. True to size, Melissa says, hey, size up. I didn't size up on these, and my heel does go probably right toward the end. I think because there's a lip there on the heel. So that might be something to consider if you're interested in the Melissa EVA. You might definitely want to size up. Men, if you're watching this and you're still curious about these as well, they do come in men's sizes, okay? So you got the men's sizes, the women's sizes, and these also come in different colors. It just depends. Are you gonna be spending your summer on the beaches, or are you gonna be spending your summers on the land? Definitely check these out. I think that land girly here is gonna go with the Birkenstock EVA, and let me explain why. I've had these bad boys. This will be my 6th summer with them. They are a little beat up. They're still going though, right? You can still even see those little Birkenstock imprints on the bottom. The one thing about this though, and so many people advertise this, and even I say it, this is one solid piece of EVA, all right? So it shouldn't break down in the typical sense of, you know, this piece pulling away from the footbed. After year 4, I developed the split right here, okay? Maybe it was because I got into some soil, some sandy soil that started to tear down my shoe, okay? Maybe. But this will be the 6th summer with these Birkenstocks, all right? Have they been worn out? Absolutely. Even look, there's kind of even like a chunk where I've dragged probably across the cement. So these really aren't even that cement friendly either. But that's gonna be the conclusion of this or that. I think it's best to decide, are we going on a resort vacation, or are we just gonna stay around the city farm life? You choose. Both great brands, both great waterproof sandals. I'll see you guys later. Have a great one.